Welcome. Welcome for joining this panel, The Power of WealthTech and RegTech for GBA Opportunities. I'm your moderator, Rico Tang from Cyberport. And first of all, I would like to take a chance to ask the speakers to introduce themselves. Let me start with my guest on my left-hand side.
Okay, thank you, Rico. So I'm William Lam, and I started the business of FundingReach 5 years ago. And before that, I've been working in the banking industry for about 20 years as business head in different banks. And we start the company with a vision to automate the entire credit and compliance process to help the financial institutions to bring their service to a bigger group of clients.
Thank you. My name is Kelvin. I'm the CEO and co-founder of AQUMON. AQUMON is a digital wealth management platform which is driven by algorithm and IT system. We have been here for 5 years. Actually, back in 2017, we got an incubation program into Cyberport. And then now we empowered more than 500,000 users from our B2B and B2C business. We have partners like large institutions such as insurance companies, banks, securities house to help them onboard those robo-advisory system. And it's my pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Joseph?
Yeah, hi. I'm Joseph Chang, co-founder of LORA Technologies. We are a robo-advisor for stocks, created for regular stock traders. So for these stock traders, we all have similar issues. One of them is there's too much information in the market and too little advice. So our AI engines will help you pick stocks, analyze stocks, stocks recommended for you and your risk profile. And the second issue for most people is once you choose a stock, you don't have a game plan. You don't know how long you're going to invest for, what's your profit target, how much risk you're willing to take. So our AI-driven bots will help you with that decision-making, essentially giving you a game plan to pursue your targets. So yeah, in summary, we are a robo-advisor to help you with what to buy in terms of stocks and when to buy and when to sell.
Under GBA, one of the most exciting opportunities we all know is about Wealth Connect. So we're going to talk about how the FinTech can facilitate and also play a key role in these very exciting opportunities. Why don't we start with William? So you are a RegTech company. Can you share with us how your company can help the banks in this very exciting opportunity?
I think for the Wealth Connect opportunities, it is a huge opportunity for the banks, for the financial institutions. And we are talking about a population of 71 million people, okay? So it is about 10 times of Hong Kong population. But for us as a RegTech company, in order to facilitate the FI to tap into this market, we need to do a lot of improvement in the infrastructure. So you can imagine for a bank, if they are doing a KYC for a Hong Kong citizen in Hong Kong, they are talking about to do the background search for about 7.5 million people in Hong Kong. And of course, they may do some overseas search as well. But when we put into the space of GBA under the Wealth Connect, they have to look into the database in a much bigger scope, okay? It is not only about the population in GBA, because the people around GBA can be moved to any other part in the mainland China. So actually, they are talking about to do the KYC search on 1.4 million population. So the scale is entirely different. So for us, as a RegTech company, we can, through technologies and automation, and help the bank to streamline and automate the entire process of KYC.
Thank you, William. And it seems that from day one, you're going to enjoy these very exciting opportunities. So let's move on to Kevin and Joseph. We do expect them with the development of the Wealth Connect, and the investor is supposed to have more choices. Can you share with us how your technologies can help the banks and also clients to pick their best investment vehicles?
Actually, I've been in Hong Kong for 13 years, and before this Wealth Management Connect, actually the policy is changing all the time. Sometimes it encourages money to come into China, and sometimes it's encouraging the capital to outflow. So this is the first time we have the both side capital flow, and I think it's a tremendous opportunity for Hong Kong and also for China. And in this particular moment, I think AQUMON has been preparing for this moment for almost 5 years. We empower large institutions such as the banks to help them onboard those automatic wealth management systems, such as the robo-advisor with the CMB Winlong Bank, with the BOCI, and also even like the insurance companies like AIA. For example, with CMB Winlong Bank, they are on the list, right? They are the first batch of the 19 banks who can offer those products that is northbound and both southbound. And our system can help the clients no matter where they are, how much money they have. They can just log into their bank app, answer the risk questionnaire and the 2 other dimensions. For example, what's your preference on region? Do you like the US stocks or the Chinese stock? Another dimension is what's the sector you like? It's pharmaceutical or technology? And everyone can have their tailor-made portfolio, which is consists of SFC authorized mutual funds. And just one click, they can execute this portfolio, and the algorithm is monitoring the portfolio for the very long time. And I think it's a perfect product for the first time investors. They go abroad to invest, and because it's very diversified and very stable. So I think we are ready for this new product.
Thank you, Kelvin. And we have heard that, right? Kelvin has been in this space, right, for some time, engaging with financial institutions in Hong Kong and also in China. Joseph, the question to you. You are a new player, come to this game. Can you share with us a bit more about what have you done outside Hong Kong? I know that you have been working with financial institutions in Germany and also in Korea. What exactly you are doing over there?
Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Rico. As I was saying before, our expertise is stocks, analyzing stocks, trading stocks, through the whole investment cycle of a stock. But our projects overseas were really about creating portfolios. I think that's something that most institutions like to start with, is a portfolio. Where we differentiate there is the portfolio construction. I think people might know, normally with portfolios that are constructed passively, which is most of the offerings out there, they're generally based on some kind of market or some kind of theme, and the stocks are picked filtering through a certain set of rules. And once they're picked, they're invested into at a size that matches the size of the company, i.e. market cap. So in other words, it's a formula-driven process to pick stocks, and there's not a lot of adjusting stocks over time. It's only when a stock falls out of that rule set or a new stock enters that set of rules that you have the so-called rebalancing. So from our point of view, what we try and do is construct portfolios where we pick stocks within a market or a theme that we think will outperform. And then using our bot technology, where we have a target, profit target, but also managing risk if the stock market should go the other way, that we can manage these things in a very active way. So in a passive sense, picking stocks similarly, but actively actually managing it. And in doing so, it's something differentiated, something that potentially can outperform a more passive index. And that's what we've done with some of these clients overseas.
Thank you, Joseph. When we look at the banks in the phase 1 of the Wealth Connect, we have seen some banks are from Hong Kong and also the international banks. I know that William, you have also have some cases, right, that you can share with us about the needs of those banks when they offer the outset to develop the Wealth Connect in the space of the RegTech.
Okay, yeah, sure. So for us, actually, we have a client which is a international bank. So they want to use our service because they also eyes on the opportunities in the GBA area under the Wealth Connect, and because historically they are using the US-based market player to do their background search, but when they try to go into the GBA area, they found that the service or the database, what they can be provided by the existing vendor may not be able to match the needs of their development. Say, maybe for those existing players, there are more eyes on the global environment and the database in a global perspectives. But when you're talking about GBA opportunities, we really need to look into very details of the background of the people. So we just mentioned the population in GBA is around 71 million, and the whole China is 1.4 billion. So we really need to build a database which allow us to access to the background and to the information to this group of people. So for us, because we can have all this kind of consolidator in the GBA, China, Greater China, and even overseas markets, so when they use our service, it is very convenient. They just need to access our portal, and within seconds, they can get the result of the clients in the GBA area.
Thank you, William. And Kelvin, you briefly mentioned about you're working with Wing Lung Bank and on another project using your robo-advisory. I saw the name also on the Wealth Connect, the admitted banks. Can you help us to know a bit more? How can other banks learn from that example and to capture this very exciting opportunity?
Yeah, I think I think it's not only just the Wealth Management Connect. It's all the banks that is facing the new era of digital wealth management. Because in the past, it's pretty much we call it high finance. So that is only serving the most rich people, the most wealthy people in the world. And that is like very few people. But in the future, I think we solved the problem of unbanked. Now we are solving the problem of private banked. Right? We want to lower down the threshold to give more service to those middle class, to those who like to have stable long return. This kind of investors. And then now robo-advisor is something all the banks they want to do, because we pay visit to more than like 300 banks, securities house in Asia, and a lot of them are launching this product, no matter they are doing it by themselves or they are seeking the help of external players such as AQUMON. So under the new era of Wealth Management Connect, I think it's a tremendous opportunity for the banks, both onshore and offshore. We also have our business onshore. We launched the first robo with the China Resources Bank, one of the largest commercial banks in Guangdong area, and also Guangzhou Rural Commercial Bank back in 2018 and 2019. And I think in the future, it will expand to more banks to get involved, this kind of new format of investment to invest both sides. And the best way to do this is through this diversified portfolio, which is suitable for most of the players. So this is the big trend from the high finance to big finance, and we are on the way to help more people.
Thank you. Joseph, do you want to add a point on what being discussed by Kelvin?
Yeah, I agree with everything Kelvin has said. I think the unbanked or unprivate banked, I guess at LORA, what we're trying to do is help even the more regular traders out there. Certainly there are investors that want to invest in portfolios, but there's a lot of people that want to invest in stocks themselves, want to learn, want to understand. But today, as I mentioned before, there's a lot of information out there, but there's not enough advice. And what we're trying to do is maybe cater to the unadvised, maybe, where they need help, where they need something that they can benchmark to, that they can lean on, that they can trust, because it's AI-driven, it's replicating processes, best practices that today are happening in large banks for the wealthy, for the institutions, for the people with money, but to use AI to replicate that and give it to the regular stock investor. This is our goal. Yeah.
Thank you. I think we all want to know a bit more about the fintech startup in Hong Kong. Our differentiation compared to not only the more mature players in this market, but also to other players coming from overseas. So can you share with us how can you compete with other vendors to serve this very exciting market? Maybe we start from William.
Okay, thank you, Rico. So I think the journey to compete with the global players is very challenging. So to start with, when we start the business at the very beginning, because of lack of branding and success stories, so it is very difficult to get the first client. But once we have put enough resource in the R&D areas, we start to have our own differentiations. So I think the most important part is that we have built a very localized database, which is necessary for the financial institutions to perform and carry out the KYC process. So say for the global players, they may have very good access in a lot of countries, but they may have that kind of in-depth knowledge in Hong Kong, China, or even to do the search in Chinese characters and simple Chinese or traditional Chinese. And that part is definitely our strength. We not only capture different kinds of data sources in China, Hong Kong, and overseas, we also trained a machine which is able to read the data and the content of English and Chinese as well. So this is definitely our differentiation. And besides, I think the adoption of technology is also different. So as you can see, some of the players, they have been there for decades. So their technologies or their system or their infrastructure has a lot of legacy issue. But for us, as a very new company, very green company, only have 5 years of history. So we use the latest technologies, which allow us to grab all the data. We have more than 50,000 data sources, and we grab the data on near real-time basis. And then we have a AI to analyze and read the content and provide the result to client within seconds. So this altogether make us have a very good differentiation against those existing players.
Thank you, William. I know, Kelvin, you have a big R&D team to support your business. Can you share with us more and how important is that R&D team, right, for you to differentiate your service versus other players in the market?
Yeah, there are so many robos in the market now, especially in Singapore and the other area. And I think AQUMON's DNA is from the research. You know, we started from the library of HKUST with me and Tang, and now we have 150 people. Among them, we have a PhD team that is more than like 50 people that is in doing our algo engine. We use this algo engine to empower almost 100 institutions and also 500,000 users. And everything from the big data center to backtesting framework to the optimizer to the risk management and to the execution is built by us. So we are not afraid of any competition. No matter who they are, where they come from, even the players in the US, such as Betterment or Westfront, when we compare to their performance, we outperform them. So this is the key part of the new kind of digital wealth management. It's not only just the marketing. We see a lot of marketing from the street. It's not electronic trading platform. It's the smarter version of them. You need to have the ability to help your clients earn money. That's the key part. No matter how much money you spend on marketing, but for like a half year later or 1 year later, they will compare your performance. So this is the key part. That's how the company is rolling and we believe in.
Thank you. Joseph, I know you have a very interesting proposition versus other robo-advisory. Is it because of the background of the founding team, which help you to differentiate your service from the others?
Yeah, that's right. Actually, so myself, I spent more than 20 years in Hong Kong working for international banks focused on the equity markets. So I've had the privilege to trade all the equity markets in Asia, from India up to Japan and everything in between. And also been participating in the growth of wealth management products over the last 20 years in Hong Kong, from very simple warrants that are listed on the exchange to private bank products like accumulators to all these other equity structured product offerings out there. So my partners, my co-founders are all like me. Each of us spent 20 years in different banks. Some of them we worked at different points we worked together. But our conclusion working through these banks and doing all these things is actually what we have in banks is a set of best practices, a set of tools, a set of processes to analyze stocks, to pick stocks, to trade them, to create a product that is useful for the investor. And so we lean on that as practitioners to create LORA technologies, to create our app, our AI-driven analysis, our scores, our bots to help you trade, is essentially replicating all of that, leveraging AI. I mean, without AI and the advances there, it's very hard to scale this at a very low cost and try and offer it out to the regular stock trader out there. So that's our background, yeah.
Thank you. I think it's so exciting, right, to have the three founders, and they are specializing, right, in the WealthTech and also in RegTech, and to capture the upcoming GBA opportunities. I think that before we close today's sessions, I think that would be good for three of you, right, to summarize, right, I would say, right, what are the key messages, right, you want to send out to people who attend this panel?
I think GBA is definitely a exciting market that we wish to go into, and we also see a lot of opportunities there. And for our company, we are get ready to get into this market. We grab all kinds of necessary database there. We train a machine which can be support either Chinese or English languages. So we are really looking forward to work together with the financial institutions to expand the opportunities in this market.
Kelvin?
Yeah, I believe in that the Wealth Management Connect will bring a bigger market to help Hong Kong surpass Switzerland, become the largest cross-border wealth management center in the world just in 2 years. And I think a robo-advisor, especially with the banks to do global asset allocation, will help the investors to have better solutions over their investment. And I think AQUMON is ready for this journey, and we are very glad to at this center of the stage to provide this kind of new technology to our investors.
Joseph?
Yeah, I agree. It's very exciting times for us in this region. I think, yeah, Wealth Connect is just the third act, really. I saw Stock Connect. In fact, I was part of helping launch that, the previous bank I was working at, and then Bond Connect and Wealth Connect. So it's all very exciting. At LORA, we hope to offer something differentiated, offer something that caters to a certain segment of the market that needs this, that needs our tools and our AI advice to help you pick stocks and help you trade them. And we're looking forward to be part of this ecosystem. Yeah.
Thank you. We all know the Wealth Connect is going to start with some very low-risk investment vehicles for investors in GBA. But I think in 12 months' time, we all expect, right, the market will open up, and there will be more choices, right, to the clients, right, in the GBA area, so that the adoption of technologies, right, will be accelerated to serve our financial institutions and also clients in this space. So once again, thank you for joining these sessions. And also thank you for our speakers, William from FinTech, Kelvin from AQUMON, and also Joseph from LORA Technologies. Thank you so much.